Today we're going to tear down a transmission that RJ put together a while ago. This was for a good customer of his, Ty Page?
Yep.
And this guy, I have been introduced to him. He likes to party, we'll put it that way. So his TikTok and Snapchat story says that he is not the easiest on a transmission.
He's not easy on things.
But this has 350% overs, a 14 mil pump, and a 480.
Yep.
So the truck makes some good power, and he put together a 750 build, which it needed more than that, I think. But we're going to
tear... Not at the time, but you know, things happen. Well,
I'm going to let RJ tear down the trains today, and we're going to see what the insides look like. Because I always enjoy tearing down a transmission that has been beat on for a while, and then we can see what clutch compressions are, we can see what clutch clearances are, if any parts are twisted, and it tells you what horsepower level is holding up to different parts.
So first thing we'll check out here is the pump. We'll see if the gears have any galling. Any material made it in there. There's not too much trash in there. It actually looks pretty decent. So the pump actually doesn't look too heavy. Normally if you get some stuff in there, it starts wearing a groove in there if you can catch it with a nail, you know. That's pretty rough, but that pump actually looks great still. So in here, we'll check our C1 and C2 clutches, see how they look. They're both GPZs. Nothing fancy in here, just sleeve C2 hub. Pretty standard, same thing as putting all the 750 builds. Alright, so C2s, let's see how they look. Actually not bad at all, really. It's pretty common, you'll see some heat marks on the steels and you'll see on the inner part. The way that these apply, you'll see a wear mark in the middle right here. It's from that, pushing up on them. So these actually look great for everything that this truck's been through. So we'll set those to the side. Alright, so C1s. These are single-sided frictions, just standard GPZ, nothing too crazy. But these actually don't look too hateful either. You can see a little bit on the edge there. It started getting hot. That one. That's probably the worst looking one of the whole pack, and it's not too bad really for everything it went through. Just that middle row right there where it's starting to glaze. So actually this is a pretty good example of why on the 900 horse ones we step it up to the billet, the go-run ones of these, because that's what they like to do. They start twisting right there. So pretty much if you look right here, the reason that we do the sleeve hubs and then we go to the billets on the higher power units is this lines on here, but 750 horse units, you can get away usually with the sleeve without a problem, not a big deal, depending on what you're doing with it. This is what happens though. This is your next failure point. So I'll get out one, show you side by side. This is a new Govern one. And you can see what they do is they actually cut out in between all the planetary rollers right here. And this is a one-piece billet insert. So, and if you see those side by side, like just the material they're made out of and everything. So that's why we upgrade these, is so we don't have that problem. These are C5s, so these are really only applied in first gear and reverse. So, I mean, unless you're doing something ignorant in reverse or leaving it locked in first to do a burnout, they really don't see too much heat. So these are actually still factory C5s, and you can see even in this truck they really didn't get that much abuse on them. So if you look closely, like, you can still see factory, like that's the factory stamping on them still, not even worn off. So they hold up pretty well. Mint. Still crispy. Still crispy. If there's anything in here that's smoked, it's going to be these.
All right, well, we got the trans all apart, and honestly, it looks surprisingly pretty dang good. But coming over here, really the clutches all look great. You've got the C5s, the C4s, C3s, C2s, and C1s. We're not seeing any burn marks significantly on anything. Like, there's a little bit of wear marks on the coalines, but there's no signs that we're overpowering the transmission. And for this being a 750 build and the guys making 950 plus, you really can't ask for a better result tearing a transmission down. The pump looks good. The one thing that we see here is this planetary gear is twisted, and this is something we upgrade in the 900 units. So anything over 750 horsepower, we recommend upgrading to the Garin billet planetary, and then we go to a billet C2 hub. This is an OEM hub that has the sleeve on it, and that sleeve protects that hub from splitting and stripping on the splines. But this one was sleeved, but it still twisted the planetary, and that's why on the 900 units we tend to just upgrade both of these pieces to billet and eliminate that problem. But it's always fun tearing these transmissions down after they've seen a lot of abuse, to see what we can improve on it, what we can make it better, because the end goal is making a product that you guys have the least amount of problems with and can have the most amount of fun with.